Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Post-Match Pint, the only West Ham United post-match full show on the internet. I came back from the Stadium of Light yesterday, where we lost 3-0 in the opening game of the season. Different season, same problems, boys, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
same old.
I said it to someone last night. Eat, sleep, pre-season, repeat. That's what it is at West Ham. Fucking awful, mate. Awful game. I feel sorry for the fans that travelled up there, to be honest.
Yeah, there was a lot of us as well. There was a fucking lot of us as well. It was a long old fucking journey there and a long old fucking journey back. That's for fucking sure. But yeah, absolutely, as usual, fucking fantastic numbers from our boys up there.
Yeah. Like I said, it's the same old West Ham we've seen for the past 2 years. Same old. Just lack of penetration, sideways, backwards, bollocks, easy, predictable. It's so frustrating, man. Like, we're starting with that starting lineup. I do not know what Potter was thinking. Okay, we've heard Guilherme was apparently broke his collarbone, so that explains him not being in. But he's played Freddie Potts every game in pre-season, and he didn't get a single minute in that game. And he's played Rodriguez, who we're here is close to being moved on. Let me quickly read this super chat. Ryan, £2 super chat. Thank you, mate. Anyone fancy a curry in Morrison's car park?
That was from me.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought it's
did you write that?
No, I'm joking. I didn't expect to.
Yeah, so the lineup. I know what you guys was. I mean, we was in the group chat. I see you guys. We all thought the same thing. Rodriguez, Ward-Prowse combo. No pot. What was he thinking?
I don't get that decision, mate. It was as you said, Potts has started pre-season. He's played well. I know he was a bit he wasn't as good last week in the friendly, but I always look at them friendlies, and I said this to someone yesterday, no one wants to get injured, so they're not going to be up-tempo games, are they, the last? So I looked at that, and when I see Rodriguez, I thought the same as you. I thought they're trying to get rid of him, so why are they starting him? But I'd rather play Souček instead of him if you're going to, at least Souček staying. But yeah, it wasn't. As soon as you see that, I think going by the reaction on social media, a lot of people are up for the game, see the starting lineup, and straight away, it's a bit like last season, heads dropped, thinking, here we go again. And I'm going to be honest, I thought the first half, I didn't think we was that bad. I thought we passed it around a lot. We kept the ball. We didn't do much with it, but we had a couple of opportunities. Bowen had a chance where keeper pulled off a good save. Diouf had that chance where the defender cleared it off the line. We did play well, and I didn't feel uncomfortable. You know, I thought that we was controlling the game, but Sunderland always looked like if they got a chance, they was going to take it. And Hermansen pulled off a great save from was it Diarra who went through? He went through so easily as well. So it was I thought first half we wasn't that bad.
But no, we weren't bad. Even Rodriguez wasn't bad, but you could just see, like, overall, we just lacked any sort of pace that they had. So every time that they broke, they looked deadly. They were finding space behind. You know, we was playing a little bit of a higher line, and they was getting behind that. Whereas us, you know, we had more of the ball, but it was just a absolute just slog to just try and get it up the pitch and create something. It was just so slow, and everything, as I said to Nicky before, everything was just going down the right-hand side. It was so predictable. They was just overloading on that side because they knew we were just going through Wan-Bissaka, and Diouf was just there out in the open waiting for the ball. We barely give the ball to him.
I think the issue is with this, and this is why I was baffled. This is why I was completely baffled. When I was getting out of that car and that lineup come out, not only are we getting rid of him, like, we played a game a couple of pre-season games ago, and we watched the same trio in midfield, and people said, we can't, you know, I know it's pre-season, but we can't, you know, we won't be in a situation where them three are playing together. And they were. And they, not what was it, the situation where them three were playing together, they were starting the game. And you think to yourself, like, what the fuck are the others doing in training that makes Potter think that them three are the greatest? Look, I know it was Sunderland, and I know, but I'll be honest with you, Sunderland shocked me because Sunderland started very what's the word? Submissive, if that makes sense. They let us have the ball, and I was thinking, this is like, what is going on? Because normally you'd think a team coming into the Premier League would be at you 100 miles an hour and trying to hit you early to sort of like get the crowd up for it, but they didn't. They didn't do that. They're the ones that sat back and sort of absorbed the pressure. And you know what that smells to me? That the Sunderland manager turned around and he's seen every game from last season. He's seen the starting lineup and goes, just hold it back, boys. Like, you'll get your opportunities. Like, if you just hold back and let them have the ball, they're not going to be able to do nothing with it. And that
they as you said, mate, they just sat back and worked us out. They let us play, see what formation we was playing, how we was going to play, and that's what they done. They sat back and worked out what we was going to do.
And the problem is with that, right, is that we had 90 minutes there and we done two things all game. We tried the little dink over the top, which never worked, right? And we tried to get it over from the right, which never worked. Yeah. And they sat back, they watched it, and what they done, every opportunity they tried something different. You see it, they put it down the right, they put it down the left, they put it down the centre, they got it out to the wing every time, and they was trying to work out how to break us. Yeah. And that is never the problem. The situation with West Ham. West Ham will ping the ball about, yeah, between the central midfielders and the centre backs, right? Sideways and backwards, with no ambition of going forward. Yeah, they don't know how to go forward. The team, as it's set up there, is set up not to go forward. It's set up to defend. And the problem is, mate, when you fucking can't defend, it's a recipe for disaster. And you're putting people in it. I mean, we cannot. And I'm not disrespecting Sunderland at all, because Sunderland are, a Premier League team that have earned their place in the Premier League, right? But this is their first game back. Yeah. And as I said before, sometimes you get beat by the occasion. It wasn't the occasion that beat us. It was the football team. And that's worrying from a West Ham point of view. That is worrying because...
The worrying thing for me yesterday was how we collapsed after going 1-0 down. It's like we went 1-0 down. I mean, what Aguerd was doing for that header, I don't know. How he's getting beat like that. And all the goals, really. When you look at all the goals... I mean, the third one was just a joke. Like, the amount of room he had on the left, no one chasing back, everyone just give up. But the second goal as well, another one. Why have we got three centre backs and you've got Paquetá, the one who's challenging him for the header? It's how easy they were just running through us. And it was because when we went 1-0 down, it's like we thought in our heads mentally, we thought we've lost the game. We've lost this game. And there was no fight. There was nothing. It was like watching a team that have just played 38 games and they're tired. This is the first game of the season.
Yeah,
and that's the worrying thing.
Admitted that, didn't he? Potter actually said, "Oh, the goal changed the game for us." And people were saying, "Well, obviously," but he's basically was kind of saying once they scored, then they had the momentum and we drifted out, and it shouldn't be like that. 1-0 down, then we should be the ones now with the urgency, chasing the game, throwing caution to the wind, really pushing. But there isn't that. And like I say, it's so easy to defend it. Because I want to quickly talk about Hermanson, because the goalkeeper situation, we talked about the lineup. I said...
before you go on to the goalkeeper situation, right, the issue with the way that we played there, right, and you said the goal changed the game, right? You see it a million times, right? There will be a side that is passing it about, pinging it about, a side like Chelsea or Liverpool saying, and they're playing someone like Crystal Palace, right? And they'll have a couple of chances, it won't get it. Then all of a sudden, Crystal Palace will get a goal, yeah? They'll get a goal out of nowhere, right? I'm just putting Crystal Palace as an example, right? And then all of a sudden, it snaps like that. And Liverpool think, fuck, we better start playing now. And they start going, and playing the football that they're meant to be. And 9 times out of 10, apart from like the odd anomaly, they'll win 2-3, 4-1. Now, it happened on Friday. Liverpool were pretty much like dominating the game. Then, Bournemouth started going for it. They made a couple of slippers and thought, fuck, we better start fucking taking this seriously now. And then they just upped the tempo. The tempo that we are is the tempo we are. Yeah. Doesn't matter if we're winning, we're losing, and all. 2-0 down on the 85th minute, and I'm watching the centre backs pass it between themselves. I'm thinking to myself, something's wrong here. Something is absolutely wrong. I don't know. It's the lack of urgency for me in the whole game, right?
We've
not
had
that,
that.
mate.
It's been the same 2 years.
You look at that starting lineup, right? We all looked at that starting lineup, and where was the one problem area that everyone said was weak? It's the centre mid. So why are we not targeting centre midfielders and bringing them in? I know Hermanson, I thought was a good sign. I know he didn't have a great debut yesterday, but you can see he's a good goalkeeper. Why do we go out and spend all that money targeting a goalkeeper when, to be honest, I didn't really think we needed to strengthen that much, like towards goalkeeper.
It wasn't as big a priority as the midfield.
It's not a priority as what the centre mid is. And starting that game with Ward-Prowse and Rodriguez in there, that was the one thing that I looked at and I thought, even when I see that starting lineup, I think to myself, you know what? Even though Sunderland have got 7 debuts today, you know they've got someone like Granit Xhaka in there who's going to control the midfield. He's a good player, and it was just the way they was running through us, and that was the worrying thing. And as I said, it was like watching the West Ham last game of the season, nothing to play for. When this is the opening day of the Premier League season, and we look like that. If we do not bring in at least 2 midfielders in this transfer window, then unfortunately we are, if not going to be down the bottom all season, we're going to go down. We will go down with that squad. That's
100%. Like I said, we've all been saying it for a while. I was saying it last season. Some other of us were saying it last season. We've been able to see it, and we're going out getting backup right backs, backup strikers, a left back, a goalkeeper, everything but the midfield. And the goal. I just thought, like, I know, like, I'm not going to write off Hermanson off of one game. It was a really poor game. Them goals, and I just think the decision to drop Areola first game off the bat like that and not let him, fight to keep his place, I thought that was really poor from Potter. And now it looks even worse that Hermanson has come in and had an absolute mare in goal, and Areola's got to be sitting there like pissing himself, going, "Well, you've just dropped me out of nothing." And look, and Areola, I think the shot stopper he saves at least one of them goals, if not 2.
I think really one of the other concerning things for me, in regards to the manager, is that he came in last season and he hasn't had the greatest record. Right now, we know that the midfield has been an issue. Yeah, the midfield was an issue last season. Yeah, it's not going to get any better over the summer, right? Unless there's parts and parcels of that midfield that he sees in that midfield that he can train to do the job that he wants to be done, right? So if he feels like, Ward-Prowse, for instance, right, and I said this the other night, he's got talent, the kid, right? But he's not in a midfield that's going to be able to highlight the talent, yeah? The issue is that he's had the summer now to implement his style of play in them and get what he wants out of them. That is no different than what I see, against Lopetegui. Like, if he feels like Rodriguez could do a job and James Ward-Prowse can do a job, and he can train them into doing what he wants to do, that's different. You know what I mean? But they're literally no different to what the ways they was performing. They're no different. So he hasn't even looked at it and thought, I can reshape this midfield. I can work with this midfield. I can do something with this midfield. Yeah. He hasn't done that. What he's done is he's just put the same fucking players doing the same fucking jobs back in the middle, thinking it's going to work. And I said this about Moyes, right? And I would be a fucking hypocrite if I didn't do that. Like, I was ready to background Potter, but them decisions yesterday and the fact that he hasn't. I know we're bidding for Fernandes, but Fernandes is a fucking attacking midfielder. He's not going to slot into the place where we want him to slot into, like, and where the problem is, like.
Well, Fernandes is over. That's over, mate.
Well, yeah, but it's over for now. But we have got another 2 weeks left. Something might come up. But I'm just saying, like, he was an attacking midfielder. That's not the issue at the moment. Although Paquetá was fucking poxy yesterday, he was poor. What I also did see is a lack of movement up front. Fulkrug is a good fucking centre target if you've got wingers around him. Bowen is not going to get on the last man. Simple fact is, and you know why Bowen won't get on the last man? Because Bowen is not a fucking striker. The same thing that we were saying about Antonio for a few years. Good at goal scoring, brilliant at goal scoring, and he might have to go up front, but he's not a fucking striker, right? Get wingers on the pitch. And I know I was talking about Guillermo, and I talked about him this morning, and it's come out that he's broke his collarbone, which is fucking annoying because he was one of the best that I've seen in pre-season, and I was looking forward to seeing him. We need to get Somerville back, man. We need to abandon this 5-3-2. We need to get some fucking legs in the midfield. The least he could have done yesterday, right? I still don't get it. The Alvarez thing. He obviously Alvarez is out of favour. He isn't going to fucking play. I can't see how Alvarez has not got a fucking single minute on the pitch. Yeah, in pre-season or now after the tournament he had, right? Because you want people walking in there who are in form, and he's picked people. The Rodriguez one is absolutely fucking baffling, and that is a sort of decision that you get to a point in the season, into a manager's reign, you start to think, does he fucking know what he's doing? Because every fucker in the stadium, I don't think there's one West Ham fan that would have picked that midfield. Not one. No, there's not one person that would turn around and go, that is the best midfield to start with. Against fucking Sunderland, against Burnley, against fucking Luton, against anybody. It would not be able to keep up with anyone. So how he has come to that decision as a Premier League manager, a manager that saw so much of that same sort of thing last season, who's had the summer to work on it, who's had the summer to bring something else in. And if he ain't going to bring nothing else in, at least find something within our academy or our squad that's going to fix the idea and then decide that is the best way to go. I think that's that's grounds for sacking, in my opinion.
Well, the thing is, grounds for sacking. I mean, he's worked with Potts all pre-season and everyone was expecting Potts to start. I
think Potts was expecting Potts to start.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and I don't get why. Whether you want informed player, you play your best players, and Alvarez is one of our best midfielders in that position. Souček is better than Rodriguez. I don't get why he's got this sort of Ward-Prowse loving at the moment. Because as we said the other day, I like Ward-Prowse. But when you got Alvarez and Potts sitting on the bench, them two should not be starting yesterday. They should not be starting. And
that should be the pair starting, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I've been crying out for the last couple of weeks.
But he made him vice captain, didn't he, Ward-Prowse? So over Souček, and that's mad. There's something in Ward-Prowse that he sees that no one else sees. Well, Nicky sees it, David Beckham comparisons, but there's something he sees in him that I can't figure out. And he's good. He seems like he's one of the first names on the team sheet right now. And I don't see what he's bringing over a 90-minute period.
And when you look at it yesterday, we had, 63% possession and we've come off losing 3-0. Where we used to win games 1-0 and only have fucking 30% possession. It's what I'm saying.
It's what you do with it, right? That's the thing.
It's what we do with it. And every time we got that ball yesterday, we didn't look like we knew what we're doing. We was going backwards, sideways. Every time we tried to play it forward, it was either going out of play or Bowen was on to the end of it, and there was no end product.
How are we still the same? He had grace. I know he's got to get his players in. We need that sorted. But you've had a pre-season to try and change that and shift that, and it's exactly the same as we saw last season under Potter, as we saw under Lopetegui, as we saw towards the end of Moyes' reign. How is it exactly the same?
I don't know, mate. I can't explain how we've had sort of two managers since David Moyes, and nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. We all sat there and said we're happy to give Potter a chance. But when you look at that yesterday, and then you look with what the fixtures we've got coming up, we've got Chelsea, Forest, Palace, and Tottenham.
Palace and Arsenal, mate. After that,
you could be looking at that thinking we could have no fucking points after 6 games.
Yes.
And there's only one thing that's going to happen. Unfortunately, Potter will lose his job because Sullivan ain't going to want to take the flack again. He ain't going nowhere. Karen Brady was on the radio this morning, and she sort of confirmed that they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So, and I look at Potter, and I looked at him yesterday, and he looked lost on that touchline. It looks like he don't even want to be there.
He probably don't. No, he probably don't, because the one of the issues is, and someone alluded me to a tweet that Sean Wetson put out. Potter doesn't want the players that Sullivan wants to give him. What does that say?
You can't work like that. You can't work like that.
No,
we can't sign anyone because Sullivan wants to give him players and Potter don't want them. And he's like, well, yeah, of course not, because Potter wants the players that Potter wants. Not the fucking players. And we've just gone round in a complete full circle. We are back to the Allardyce days. There's your players. Work with them. And that is not how football works.
We never left that. We never left that, Nick. It's
no,
never stopped.
We did lose it. We did leave it. We did leave it.
Slaven Bilic put up with it. Every manager.
No, because we did leave it then because it come to a point where we put someone else in charge of the transfers and we was going down that direction. And it was
still working. But still,
no, we left it. We left that.
No, Nick, but still, Sullivan.
Listen,
wait a minute. Just wait a minute, Nick. Still,
let me finish my point.
Yeah, but you're saying we left it. We never left it because even when we had Sides,
we fucking left it. We left it because there was another geezer that come in and started doing it. We left it.
But Sullivan was still interfering,
and then he's gone straight back to it. So we've left it. We left it, and we've gone straight back to it. We've gone in a fucking.
You haven't got a clue what's going on, Nick. There still was Sullivan players. There was his committee. You think he was hands off? You think everything was just Sides?
Who was Sullivan?
Lopetegui. Lopetegui was Sullivan's. Lopetegui.
I'm not talking about Lopetegui. I'm talking about Stuyden.
I'm talking about flipping Sullivan getting involved. He's always been involved.
For when?
What do you mean? From day dot, mate. From
when
day
Stuyden
dot.
Was in charge. Stuyden was picking players.
Oh, so Stuyden had full autonomy, right?
Yeah,
he picked fucking everything. There was no Sullivan players. Stuyden picked Lopetegui. Sullivan was hands off. If you believe that, mate, you might as well just go on Sean Whetstone.
No, Sullivan's never going to be hands off. But the days from full Sullivan control to the point where he handed it to Stuyden, he had to hand it to Stuyden. He had no fucking choice. Yeah, and Stuyden started taking it over. And what happened when he got a little bit fucking edgy and he had to start spending some money? He took it right. He took it back from him. We left it. We left it, and we came straight back to it. We didn't lose it for long.
Some way.
All right, mate. All right. Okay. You just crack on.
Well, I'm just saying he's always had his fingerprints on it. He's always, like I said,
fucking fingerprints on it. It's the fucking owner of the football club. He's always going to have his fingerprints on it.
Oh, that's a fucking
no owner of a
football club. What I mean, Nick? You know what I mean? The guy's still fucking sitting there and going, "Oh, Salthouse has got a player we want. There you go. Mate. Let's have him."
I'm just saying he's always going to have his fucking hands on it.
Have we not been signing Salthouse players? Did we not sign Lopetegui players? Who was Lopetegui's pick? Who was it? Tell me. Who do you think?
It was Lopetegui's pick. Oh, my God.
Who wanted Lopetegui? Was it Stuyden?
No, it was the second choice because the first choice turned it down. And I know that for a fact. I know that for a fucking fact.
Now you know facts. Now you know facts. Oh, right. Yeah, that's convenient, isn't it, Nick? 1 minute we don't know. Now you know when it suits you.
Oh, all right, mate. All right. No worries. You crack on.
Well, you crack on, Nick. But like I said, it's you're sitting there saying, "Oh, we give up." Like I said, it's been the same thing. Everyone's got their hands in the pockets, and we had a transfer committee of Moyes, Stuyden, Sullivan. You remember that?
Noble is meant to be in there somewhere.
Noble, exactly. Like this is what I'm saying. He never walked away from transfers and let go of it completely.
He did. He did let go of it, mate. He did let go of the transfers, the negotiating transfers. He let go of it.
He let go of negotiating the transfers.
And we started getting somewhere, and he was starting getting somewhere. But listen to me, right? The first sign of it cracking a little bit, which was last season, he was turned around and went, "No, I can't do it. I can't do it." He left it for a small period. I'm not saying it was a large period, all I'm saying, mate, whether he left it or not, right? All I'm saying is he's come around all full circle because now it's all him. And that's all I'm saying. It's come around all full circle because when we got to this ground, who do you think was the one handing fucking the Slaven Bilic, the likes of fucking Faguli and Nordvite and fucking all of them fucking shit? Below, who do you think was doing that?
Well, that's what I tried.
That was Sullivan, yeah. Sullivan ain't going out and spending fucking £45 million on Kudas. Sullivan isn't going out and buying £33 million Alvarez. The geezer would start shaking in his fucking boots if he started doing that because he's.
Well, he did spend it though, didn't he? Like you said,
he spent the money, but he's not the one who's going to be negotiating for it.
No, he did. Yeah, there's a difference, Nick, between negotiating, having a negotiator, and saying my mate Salthouse as this player we want, right? For or wrong, there's players.
That is what he's doing right now, and that is what he's doing then. He didn't have the same full control for the last 10 years. He didn't. There was points of it where he relinquished it because he had to because the pressure. Okay, all right.
Have we not been still getting Salthouse players, Nick? Have we not in that period? Did we not sign any Salthouse players?
Did I say we haven't? But
there you go. So that's his influence on transfers, isn't it? So he's involved on transfers, isn't he? But to beyond the
who
point
are we
of
blaming? Are
playing.
we blaming David Sullivan or Will Salthouse?
No, what the issue is, Nick, is he's always involved. He always
He's always going to be
interferes.
involved, Dan, because
No,
he's
but
the
Nick, you're being disingenuous. The way
no,
he
no,
should
I'm
be
not being
involved.
disingenuous. I'm not
You
being
are. Wait, just
Okay.
shut up a second. If I say something, let me finish my point. You're being
No,
disingenuous.
because you don't let me finish my point.
No, because I'm saying you're being disingenuous, and then you're
I'm not being
running off. I'll tell you why. You want to know why I think you're being disingenuous? Because you're saying, of course, he's going to be involved. He's the owner. Yeah, do you know what owners do, Nick? They pass off and delegate. I'm the money. Can we spend that? Can we budget that? The owners should not be choosing players. Right?
There was a point, Dan, when he wasn't choosing players. Understand that. When Snyder was going out and signing Kudus and that, he wasn't choosing the players. He was spending the fucking money. I'm sorry. But if you're going to fucking talk nonsense and accuse me of this,
that's delusional.
No, it's not delusional. It's not delusional.
You're buying everything that they're selling you. You're buying everything Sean Whetstone is saying. It's all on stats. That's it.
Mate. No, there was a period. I'm sorry, Dan, but this is bollocks.
That's what you want to believe, mate. He was less involved. I agree. There was a period where he was less involved and he had less of an influence, but we're still getting his mates' players in.
So we're agreeing on the same thing. He was less involved at that time, and has come around full circle where he's in full control, where we won't even let the manager fucking. So we're agreeing. To disagree. Now you're to agree.
Listen, we agree, but the point is, you're saying he wasn't involved at all, Nick, on transfers.
No, I didn't say that. I said we come around full circle to where he's in full control. Full control. It's not no control.
It's on record, mate. It's on record. So
all right, whatever, mate. I know what I meant. He's in full control of the transfers right this second. He won't even let the manager do it. There was a point where he wasn't in control of the players because the fucking Styler was going out and getting the players, and he was just fucking thinking, he might have tried to suggest every now and then, but there was no players the last transfer window that was fucking his players. He wouldn't be spending £25 million.
Wan-Bissaka was a salt-ass player. I'm not saying I'm against Wan-Bissaka.
He was our best fucking player.
I'm not saying every player that Sullivan's ever picked is bad. Are you jumping all over the fucking place? I'm not saying
because I'm not listening to you. Because I'm not listening to your bollocks. I'm not listening to what you're saying. Wan-Bissaka is a sort-ass player. Just because he was a sort-ass player doesn't mean that someone else didn't fucking choose him. David Sullivan doesn't choose every fucking sort-ass player. He doesn't.
Right there, mate.
Wan-Bissaka was our best fucking player.
I'm not saying every salt-ass player is bad, am I? Where did I say that? Go on, pull it up. Where did I say that? What's that got to do with him being our best player?
What's it got to do with him being a salt-ass player?
Sullivan's never picked a good player.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're sitting there making a different argument. So what? So Wan-Bissaka was like, that's not the point, Nick. The point is,
so you're telling me Wan-Bissaka was a signing. So you're telling me that David Sullivan went out and signed Wan-Bissaka all on his own, did you?
No, he's got his fucking agent, mate, who goes, I've got a client.
Sign him on his own? Did he go and sign him on his own?
He doesn't sign anyone on his own. That's why he relies on agents. He doesn't sit there and go, oh, I like that player. Oh, I want that player. He goes to his agents and goes, oh, what you got? Any players going? Any deals going?
And I think you're wrong, but there we go. Let's move on.
I don't think you're comprehending what I'm saying to you, mate.
No,
you're saying there's no players.
I think you're wrong. I
just put up that you took down. I just put out there's a list of players that Amin put up of the players that Sullivan brought in through his mates, and you're not having any of them. You're saying nothing to do with Sullivan. You're saying there's nothing to do with Sullivan.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Right, let me say this clearly, right? You are saying that during this period of Stuyton, Sullivan wasn't picking the players. Stuyton was picking the players. That's correct. Right?
Yeah.
And I have just put up a list, right, from one of our viewers of a list of players that are reported to be Sullivan picks.
Reported.
Well, we can report anything. Everything you're going off is reports.
But you're talking like it's a fact.
Okay, so Wes Foderingham. Do you think there's Stuytons sitting there going, oh yeah, I want Wes Foderingham. Let's go get Foderingham. Yeah.
But is that what you think? Wes Foderingham coming in and being in the first team? He was never. He's a backup.
It doesn't matter. But all of these players that I'm talking about, they're his mates' players.
Oh, all right.
Cornet. You think Moyes had
Cornet.
a card out for Cornet?
So when did he sign?
He signed during the Moyes era.
Moyes.
But this is the point. It
Didn't say
never
the Moyes
stopped.
era,
You
did
said
I?
going back to the
I didn't say
Allardyce
the
days.
Moyes era, did I?
What
I
I'm
didn't say
saying
the
is,
Moyes era.
you said we're going back to the Allardyce days. My point was we never left the Allardyce days because Slaven had players pushed on him. Moyes had players pushed on him.
Not at the same frequency,
Pellegrini.
mate. There's been
It's not about competition. It's not about saying, well, he's had more. And my point is, he never stopped.
He did stop.
That's my point.
He did
That's
stop.
Well, that's your opinion, mate. But
that's your opinion.
You're not giving me any proof. I'm saying to you, players,
You're not giving me any proof. You're not giving me any proof. You're not
Okay.
giving me any proof.
Well, I'm giving you arguments. I'm giving you points.
Well, I'm giving you an
saying,
argument.
Look, here,
we can go around in circles all day. Let us go. Let's move on because we're not going to get anywhere.
No one's why are you putting the fucking super chat
so let's move on.
Okay, I'm trying to read the super chat out, mate. So take it down. So this is a good time to bring Ryan back in it. Sorry, Ryan.
I was just going to say, I thought we started the game well yesterday.
Ryan's man of the match. Man of the match today. Great input. Agree, Joe. Matt Mad 199. Thank you, mate. And Gary says, saw them both out, Ryan. Yeah, here.
Yeah, no, look, listen, I see people say, look, sometimes it's good to get it out in the open. And to be honest, I like sitting back watching it. I think it's good. Look, it's this is what West Ham have done to us, because if we would have had a good result yesterday, we wouldn't even be talking about this now. So it's frustrating times. But yeah, look, it's good to get it out in the open. You know, I was gonna put myself in the middle to separate you a bit, but yeah, that's another week of TikTok sorted, Dan.
Oh God, Rand, what's this? 3? Fucking hell. But you know, like I said, it's the same thing, the same time, like we all agree and we want the same thing, is that the club's not being run well, right? And
we all know that. We all know, and as much as we want to blame, like obviously the players and Potter and that, we know where the main reason why we're in this situation. It's been 15 years now. Sullivan's been at the helm, and it's just getting worse. We've gone so. We took a couple of years ago. We seem to be going a few steps forward. You know, we obviously winning that Conference League. We was all on a high, and ever since then we've just gone backwards, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And yeah, something's got to change. And the worrying thing is with Brady on TalkSport this morning saying that the owners have got no plans to go anywhere. You know, it's worrying times. But look, we all know this is West Ham. We've all grown up watching West Ham. We know next week we'll probably go and get a result against Chelsea. That's what we do. You know, that's what the West Ham we know. But it will be difficult. But yeah, but look, calm down, boys. It's a Sunday. You know, don't let West Ham.
No, the thing is, mate, it's frustrating. It's just frustrating. Like I see a comment earlier on. I think I started it. And somebody said to me, like, the fact that you're talking about who's the vice captain and not who's to blame is that, and not the higher ups is worrying. And like, I lost my shit a little bit on thingy. Obviously, we were thinking we on the show I done earlier, because we run a fan channel. We've been talking about this for fucking 10 fucking years. The same problem. Like, the thing is, someone who comes and watches a fucking show from now, right? Don't fucking sit there and tell me we ain't talking about the fucking main issue. We've fucking been talking about the main issue 10 years ago when nobody wanted to fucking believe it was the main issue. So don't sit there and fucking tell me.
Sullivan, yeah, is the main issue, but it comes down to on match days, it's the manager and players. You know,
yeah, of course, yeah.
You've got to get up. You know, I know, as you were saying, Sullivan is involved in signings. If he's not involved in the signings, at the end of the day, it comes down to the players on a match day and the manager. So if every time we lose, you can't jump on Sullivan all the time. You got, you know what I mean? You got to. I'm sort of fucking trying to get my words out here.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like we got to talk about Sullivan, but at the same time, we got to analyse the football.
Yeah,
match,
you can't just talk about Sullivan. Sullivan is irrelevant once them 11 players cross the white line. He can't. What's Sullivan going to do? Of course he's buying the players now, and he's fucking the manager's got to pick them. And the main thing is that even you know, there's clubs in history that have been given players like Sullivan. Some clubs prefer it, yeah. And it's down to the manager to get the fucking best out of that 11. If you think that's the best we can pick out the squad, there's better players sitting on the bench. There's better players being left out, you know. And that's not down to Sullivan. That's down to the fucking manager. Right?
I agree. Go on, Nick. Sorry, finish your point.
No, go on.
No, I was going to say I do agree, but I think the problem is in modern football you do need a structure, and the thing is I'm worried about if I'm not attached to Potter, right? I would want him to succeed, of course I do, but if we sack him, I have no belief of fresh start. Here we go, new manager coming in, things change, because things won't change as long as it doesn't change at the top. And I look at someone like Bournemouth, who's, you know, a much smaller club. I don't mean big club, small, but they are a much smaller club, you know, small fan base, but they run so much better than us. Brighton, same thing.
I think there's a lot of clubs, even clubs that have gone down, Dan. You look at the investments that Leicester put in. Like Leicester, even their fucking training ground. You know what I mean? Like, it's things like that. The club is a fucking shambles. The club is a fucking shambles from top to bottom.
Bournemouth just got a new training ground.
Yeah, the difference with us is that we just try to do everything on the cheap, whether it's signings, managers. Like, we always get a manager that's out of work. We've never paid compensation to get a manager who's in work, you know, to improve us. Because we always get people, they're out of work for reasons that they weren't good enough at their previous club. So, you know, top teams go out and poach top managers. You know, so why are we always, even we see with the training ground, all the facilities, you know, our stadium's rented, we don't even own that. It's embarrassing from top to bottom.
Let me just read out that. We'll read out this, Nick, and then we'll read out the. So you've got to read.
Yeah, I've got to agree with David here. Like, I hate to say it. Look, Tottenham gone and sacked a manager, even though they won the Europa League, and guess we never do that. That is true. You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of people going, you know, when we won the Europa League, that's progression for a club. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, I don't like admitting it, but you know, I've always respected the way Spurs have done their business. They do their business, and they're fucking serious about their business. When they want a player, they at least fucking try and get him. And you can't say the same about David Sullivan. Like, look at the Lacazette fucking shit from years ago, like the bidding a couple of million quid underneath it every fucking time. Look at the one where we was going to sign that Carvalho from fucking. He's just not a serious person when it comes to transfers. He wants everything on the cheap. He wants everything as a bargain. He needs to fuck off. He needs to fuck off.
Yeah, we know that. Mac Mad with a 499 super chat. Thank you, mate. Nikki, I sincerely apologise with the It's Like AFTV comments earlier on your morning pint. You are a top bloke and I respect you greatly.
Fucking morning pint? I'm not a fucking alcoholic. It was the morning after the game before. I was having my breakfast and a cup of tea.
Oh, now you're having to go at him for saying it was a morning pint. I've heard that word.
Well, I got very upset by that comment. I got very upset. Of course, I accept the apology and I thank you so much for your comment there, but I got very upset by that comment because we're not at a point where it is like AFTV. We're talking facts. We're not talking opinions. We're talking facts. We're shit. That's a fact.
Yeah, it's true. Thank you as well, Steve Bell, for the 499 super. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you, everyone. So I haven't got the energy for new manager chat and all of this stuff, and it's tough. Look, we still have time in this bloody transfer window. We're going to be crap until we get this midfield sorted. So we just have to hope that we do get those players in and it does transform us. I want to see some that young Mo Kante. He's not going to be ready to come up and play yet, but I look at him and I'm like, that's what we need. Give me someone in that mold of that just physical powerhouse in the midfield. That's what we want.
We need just
and that would be huge. Like, if we get that midfield sorted, because I'm the attacking options we've got, I'm happy with it. I would have liked someone younger, quicker. That Semenyo look unbelievable. If we get someone like that, like, I look at other teams, and I'm so excited in terms of watching like Bournemouth and Palace. These are teams that have been behind us, you know. So now we're getting leapfrogged. Like Newcastle and Aston Villa overtook us. Brighton overtook us. Now we're having Palace and Bournemouth overtake us. Nottingham Forest as well. And you can keep doing it until we're in relegation because teams just keep overtaking us. How can we not see this? Everton as well are going to be another one who had been behind us and are going to overtake us. And we're only going one way. And This is the thing. When I saw that Brady thing, and she sat there and said, "We're fans. We want what's best for the club. We want." It's nonsense because they don't do whatever it takes to succeed. I think it was someone said it. It might have been Big Dave. That you have Chelsea selling their training ground. We take out a loan against our training ground. Chelsea sell them to themselves. Bloody Villa sell their women's team to themselves. Like they do, whether we agree with it or not. And Forest, they do whatever it takes to overcome these restrictions, and we don't. And there's no ambition.
I'll tell you why as well that happens, right? It's because this club does not want to spend money. It's a fact. They hate spending money. Sullivan's is the more money he has to spend, I think the more twitchy he gets, right?
PSR's convenient, yeah.
But this is exactly what I was going to say. PSR to them is an excuse. We can't spend it. We can't. Like PSR for Sullivan and Brady was probably the greatest thing that ever happened because now they've got an excuse. Nah, the money's run out and all that. Like when you could spend unlimited money, what could they say? You could just turn around and say, put more in, pay PSR. How has Everton and Nottingham Forest come to PSR punishments, right? And they're still spending like that because there's ways around it.
Well, some of them just take the hit. Like they go, do you know what? We're going to get 4-point deduction for better the team for the long term. We'll take that.
Yeah. And they will just use it as an excuse. How we've got to a point where we've sold a geezer for £100 million and another geezer for £55 million in the last 2 years, and we got to a point where we can't afford a fucking midfielder. I can't understand it. I can't understand it because it isn't like we've spent £1 billion before that.
No,
it isn't like that. It's nonsense. It's absolute bollocks. And I think it was the finance guy, I forget his name now, at the beginning of the season, and basically turned around and went, they ain't in trouble, PSR.
Kieran Maguire, was it Kieran Maguire?
Yeah, they can afford to buy this, before PSR rules come into play. It's a load of bollocks, pushed by their bollock pusher, Sean Whetstone, who will sit there and fucking tell you, oh, well, this is why they can't, this is why they can. As I said, personally, I speak to Sean. I talk to Sean. I wouldn't ignore Sean even in the street. But can I agree with what he does? Absolutely fucking not. I think he's a worm. I think he's a rat to do what he does to the West Ham fans. I'm a fan first, journalist second. I would never fucking deceive my fans to get a better to watch the man who fucking who wants to ruin this football club for his own benefit that you're meant to support, right? He pushes his agenda, so he gets the stories to push his website first. So is he a Sullivan fan first or a West Ham fan first? Well, I would say Sullivan fan. Sullivan fan because he wants his information.
Yeah, Sullivan and Sean fan.
You are enabling this geezer to take advantage of this football club and its supporters. And you have got to really look at the fucking mirror if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
And that's disgusting, in my opinion. Disgusting.
Yeah, agreed. I think when it comes to blame and Sullivan fault, Potter's fault, right now it's Sullivan and Potter, right? Sullivan for not having the structure in place, not giving Potter and McCauley their players, not spending money. It's Potter's fault for not putting the best possible team out on the pitch.
Yeah, I think yesterday's defeat, obviously talking about the game, is down to Potter because he had better options on the bench than what he started with. He had Potts, Alvarez sitting there, Souček was much better options than the two that he started with. So, yesterday's defeat comes down to Potter.
Yeah.
Comes down to
we
Potter,
still could have
down to the players.
Yeah. I think we still could have lost with those selections, but I think it gives us a better chance. And the thing is, what I said yesterday, he puts himself under pressure. When you make those selections and you lose, you're giving yourself pressure. If you pick a team and everyone's like, yeah, that's the team I'd pick, and then you lose, it's less pressure, it's less criticism coming your way because they're like, maybe it's the players because he's put out the team out we all thought was good and they ain't turned up for him. So that's the problem. He's putting himself under unnecessary pressure with those picks, and the substitutions I think could have come a little bit earlier as well. Subs weren't bad.
Yeah, Callum Wilson come on. I think he had a header towards the end, didn't he? That forced a good save from their keeper. That's the situation we're in when we look at our striking options we've got off the bench and bringing on Callum Wilson. You know, which
Irvin as well. What do you think of the Irvin substitution? That's another player we've just heard is about to go, and he brings him on.
I don't even know how we're in. No disrespect to Irvin, but I know he's a sort of little cult hero from his won the game against Chelsea, but he should be nowhere near the starting 11 or even on the bench for West Ham. And that's no disrespect to him. He's not. You know what? He's not shit. He's one of these players that, you know, he's not good enough for the Premier League. He's a Championship player at best. He's out of his depth in the Premier League. He's just one of these players that he's a squad player. He's never going to be a starting player in any Premier League team. He will never start. Never start for any Premier League.
But this is another one. Fearon is another youngster. So Irvin's going. So if you're going to bring someone on in that mold, then give Fearon the minutes. Give Potts the minutes over Rodriguez, who's going. Like, we've got these players we're getting rid of. And instead of these youngsters that we're seeing on the cusp of the first team, instead of giving them minutes, he's giving players that we're getting rid of minutes. That's unforgivable. Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to put them in the shop window. But that's what someone said to him. Start these players because we're trying to sell them.
But this is what we heard all summer, right? So in pre-season, when I said, why are we playing Rodriguez? Why are we playing him? Putting him in the shop window, right? And we heard that. Now the season started. It's like, okay, so we're putting him in the shop window at the detriment of our Premier League status because we're losing points.
We've got obviously Potter's got a week now to prepare for Chelsea on Friday night. It's going to be a difficult game, but look, as I said earlier, we've seen it down the years. This is a game that West Ham get up for under the lights Friday night. Hopefully, we put in a better performance, and we can get something out of the game. So we need to get points on the table as soon as possible.
How do you think that we do it? Because we're talking about midfield, mate. Their midfield is probably one of the best in the league, with like Caicedo and Enzo and stuff like that. So their midfield up against ours, mate, and we ain't got the pace to counter.
No, it's worrying. I remember the game I went to last year when we played them at home, and they ripped us apart. They 3 passes and they were through on goal. Completely, our midfield was non-existent. Look, it's going to be tough. You're playing a top team. You're playing one of the best, club world champions. So it's going to be difficult. But look, Potter's got to get on that training ground. He's got to think to himself, do I go with the starting 11 that I had against Sunderland, or do I change it? And I think we all know the answer to that, what he's got to do. So,
what do you make of these reports yesterday that he didn't travel back with the squad? Now, I know that sometimes, people don't travel back with squads because, they go and do their own thing. Work's finished for the day. All they're doing is travelling back. But it seemed to be. I know that there was a load of bollocks come out about some fight in the changing room, or they've claimed that it was a load of bollocks. That there was a fight so bad in the changing room that the police required to be called. But I don't think anyone's denied the fact that he didn't travel back on the coach. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it was what's his name who works for the club, Rob Pritchard. I see him tweet out earlier about the stories that were coming out weren't real. And to be fair, he probably can't say if they are or not. So
no, of course he
I don't know where these reports have come from. There's always going to be, when you put in a performance like that, players are going to be frustrated. There's going to be things said in the heat of the moment. There's going to be arguments, of course. And I like that. I like that because it shows that there's some of them actually caring now. And they can see that there's players in that team that are not good enough to be starting. Whether Potter got on the coach or not, I don't know. But as you said, some of them fly home, some of them go off and do their other stuff. So, I don't know. But it's worrying that it's one game into the season and we're already talking like this and we're talking about incidents like that.
Yeah.
And it is worrying.
It's crazy.
I want the facts to be true. That there was fucking a row so fucking intense in there that the police had to be called, because I want people to start being chinned for what's going on that pitch in a minute. Like, they're not good enough. They're not fucking good enough. Like, and if there's arguments, it means, as Ryan said, it means some cunt in there cares.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's just not good at the moment. And I think the thing is, we're just on the formation. I think a lot of people have spoken about the formation. He did change it when Irvin came on. But we're playing this 5 at the back with 3 central defenders, and we're still conceding 3 goals to a promoted side. Like, that's worrying.
And the worrying thing for me from yesterday was how easy they were getting beat in the air. I mean, as I said, the first goal acquired, you know, he shouldn't be losing that. He should not be losing that. Or even if he is going to lose, he's got to be challenging better. And then he turns around and he's fucking he's throwing his hands up in the air, blaming someone else. Look, yeah, okay, their players beat our player, got the ball in. You've got a job to do. Don't go and then blame them, because then that player can go and blame someone else for not giving it away up there. You just got to deal with it at the time.
The problem is we've got 3 centre backs.
They worry.
3 centre backs not good in the air, and a new goalkeeper that has been reported not to be good in the air from all the scouting reports that I've seen. So that means our whole back line is just bad in the air. So we're going to be because every bang, cross, same thing, easy.
Maybe we should get that
when we play Arsenal.
No, maybe we should get the goalkeeper in the back line to go and play over Power League then, because you can't go overhead, so they can't lose fucking balls play on the floor. Send them over to Power League to play. It's fucking Premier League. How can you have a goalkeeper that's not confident in the air? He can use his hands. In fact, when a corner comes in, he's taller than everyone because he can fucking put his arms up in the air. Fucking stupid. Yeah. The goalkeeper that can't use his fucking arms.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Look, listen, I'm not going to judge. It was a dreadful debut yesterday. I actually thought when I see him in the first 20, 25 minutes, he pulled off that good save. He was comfortable with his feet, like passing it around, you know. So look, it was a dreadful debut. It was a dreadful day. Let's move on now and enjoy the rest of our Sundays and prepare for Chelsea next week.
Yeah. That's it. Look, this is all we have is hope. That's all we have. So that's it. We'll just keep up to date on the transfer news, and hopefully we get someone in that we need, and all eyes will be on that Chelsea starting lineup. That's for damn sure. You know, so we'll see. So there we go. Honestly, but thank everyone for watching. Supposedly, I know for those who are really, upset about any negativity and you want positivity, apologies. If you've got this far, it can't be that bad, can it? But it was good to get off our chest.
It's so bad that we have to put up with these cunts every day.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I heard a comment the other day, right? I do another podcast, and their fucking Tottenham fans were saying to me, like, it's the pinnacle, right? They've been champions once or twice, I think, in their history. It's the pinnacle of a modern team to want to play in the Champions League. And I was like, I'd rather win any trophy, mate. Anything. You know what I mean? It's the fucking pinnacle to play in the Champions League. Like, fuck playing in the Champions League. I'd like to win something every now and then. But there we go.
Yep.
Different rhymes with different courses, isn't it? Or something like that. Different horses with different courses.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that first one you tried was. Good stuff. It's good to it's therapy. We got it all off the chest. So. Yeah,
until next week, and then we're going at it again. I'm fucking sure.
Oh, this is game week 1. I can't believe it. Already feels like we've been here all season. It's game week 1.
37 match days. We've got 37 match days left. Yeah. So plus cup games. But that won't be long. So we only have 2 cup games this season. Probably be out in fucking the first round in both.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Exactly, mate. It's going to be a long season at this rate.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you very much for joining us for listening to West Ham Fan TV's post-match point. How many tickets we got left for the Dixie night, right? Couple more?
About 2 left.
Come and get 2 tickets. Look, we've got these shirts there as well. We're going to have one of these as a raffle prize. Just had these fucking delivered. So, yes, come to the Dixie night. Make it a sellout, because that's probably the best thing that's going to be happening over West Ham in the next couple of fucking weeks. That's for sure. But there we go. Sell the tickets for that. Thank you very much. You can join the memberships. The memberships is by the subscribe. If you're not even subscribed yet, subscribe. If you don't want to join the memberships, don't join the memberships. There's plenty going up on the channel coming up, and we will be building up to the Chelsea game next week. We're going to be meeting up in the week, so we'll probably do something together. And that's about it, really. Match week 1 feels like match week 38 already, but there we go. Thank you very much. One thing left for us to say, boys.
Come on, you Iron.
Nice.